Hi golfers, Rob Cheney here from GOLFTEC Singapore. Today we're outside at Champions Golf Course and I'm going to share with you a drill to help with one of the most common issues I hear about, which is how do I adjust my speed control on the greens when playing on faster or slower surfaces. So here's a scenario I know many golfers are familiar with. You go on the putting green 5 minutes before you tee off, you putt a few balls around the green trying to adapt or adjust to today's green speed. And then you go out on the first hole and you leave your first putt 5 foot short, you miss the next putt and you spend the rest of the round cursing that the green speeds are different on the course to how they are on the putting green. And you then start either hitting putts too hard because you're trying to make up for that adjustment, or you just spend the rest of the round leaving every putt short until maybe you get to the 17th or the 18th and you finally figure it out when it's all too late. So how can you adapt and adjust to different green speeds immediately? Notice what's happening in any given day and be able to use your awareness, your ability to target differently, to choose the right target to hit the ball the correct speed. So a big key to this working is to start with just having a baseline stroke or a distance that you hit the ball across 15 feet with a standard stroke. So I'm 15 feet from the hole here. I would do this if I went to play any golf course. It'd be the first thing I would do. I'd go on the putting green and I would take my regular setup, make some practice swings with my focus very much placed on the hole. I'm looking at the hole as I make my practice swings. That's a key part to this working. This is my brain, my eyes giving my brain the information that the hole is that far away. And because I've done enough practice, I have a sense for how far I need to swing and how fast I need to swing in order to hit the ball that distance on a regular green speed. So I would simply go ahead and execute my standard stroke based on hitting the ball 15 feet, and I would pay attention to the outcome. So this particular surface is already, as I know, very slow. It's a chipping green. It's designed for more. It's really designed more for short game shots. So I'm already aware that this green is quite slow, and the outcome of a 15-foot putt was for my putt to come up over a foot or so short of the hole, which is clearly not an ideal outcome. So what are my options? Well, I could just go around the green, go around the course, hitting the ball slightly harder on every single putt. But the problem with that is slightly harder is very subjective. You don't know how much harder, and how much harder would vary from green to green based on the distance you were from the hole. So here's another option that would work, and it's one that I find incredibly successful when I show this to players. We're simply going to change where you place your attention by shifting your target. In this example, I'm going to use this ghost hole here, which is a phantom hole I'll use when I'm using outdoors on the putting green as a ghost hole, just to create new targets. I'm going to place this on the floor, and I'm simply going to place it beyond the hole in this example. Because the greens are running slower than I'm used to, placing my attention beyond the hole and making a stroke length and speed that I'm comfortable with should allow me to just make that necessary adjustment of catching up with the difference in my mind between how fast the greens are and what my stroke wants to do. So I've just walked out and placed the phantom hole behind the real hole, and I've placed it in this example around a foot to a foot and a half beyond the hole because I was coming up around about a foot short. So I'm going to make that necessary adjustment there. I'm going to now go back, I'm going to hit the same putt again, and I'm going to this time focus my attention when I make my practice swings on the ghost hole that's beyond the real hole in order to make the necessary adjustment. So now as I make my practice swings, my attention is very much on the ghost hole that's placed beyond the real hole. And once I get a feeling of hitting it to the ghost hole, I'm going to step in and execute the putt. Okay, so that one got a little bit closer, still came up short. So again, I can now just use that same technique, that same strategy, but this time just push my focus and push the ghost hole in this example that little bit further beyond the edge of the hole. So now I'm going to redo the drill. This time I'm going to push the ghost hole maybe 2 feet beyond the hole, go back and run the same exercise. So one more time, I've pushed the ghost hole that little bit further beyond. I'm going to place my attention on that ghost hole as I make my practice swings, getting a sense for how hard I need to hit it to reach that target. And hopefully on this occasion, I'm going to be able to make the necessary adjustment to hit the ball the correct distance for my real target. There we go, better speed. Just died a tiny bit at the hole, I suppose, but a much better adjustment, a much more accurate way, if you like, of making that change between greens that are too fast or too slow for you. And that same technique would work for greens that were running much faster than you anticipated. So if you go to a golf course where the greens are much faster than you're used to, rather than playing scared all around and just hitting it softer and hoping you hit it the right speed, bring that target in your mind's eye, in your focus, bring that target closer to you, 10, 20% short of the hole, really depending on the error that you're making. So the key here is to pay attention to the error percentage that you're making. Let's say the error I had here was somewhere between 10 and 20% short of my original putt distance. So I simply moved the target in my mind's eye 10 to 20% beyond the target, made my practice swings focusing on that spot, and then executed my putt trying to recreate that same feeling that I had with my practice swing. And the outcome, as you saw, gradually improved as I did that. Additionally, this will also work on breaking putts. You'll be pleased to know that you can use this same theory, this same strategy, if you like, on breaking putts. So however you target your breaking putts, whether you pick an aim point, a spot on the ground, curving golf ball, curving line towards the hole, you can take that read and go ahead in your mind's eye and just drag the target that's on the ground closer to you or further from you, depending once again on whether your greens that you're playing on are running faster or slower than you expected. So rather than just taking a standard read, hitting the putt and then finding the ball, fall short in this occasion and this example because the greens are too slow, make your read, take your spot on the ground, and then extend that beyond the hole in order for you to be able to now go ahead and hit a normal putt, which takes care of the speed adjustment that you need to make. If you'd like to work on having a baseline stroke, a great way to do that is to use a putting mat similar to the one I have on the ground here. This is the Vizio putting template from Phil Kenyon. This allows you to maintain and work on your stroke using some guidance here with the lines on the mat. Equally, what this is helping me to do in this example is to create a swing length which back and through is pretty equal or even. That is going to produce for me a very consistent distance off the putter face, and once I have that as my baseline, I can then use the target strategy that we spoke about today to adjust my outcome and target accordingly. So golfers, give that a try next time you're on the course. Rather than spending the best part of the round and even the time in the bar after the round complaining that the greens were the wrong speed for you today, take that technique, go ahead, put it into play straight away. You don't have to do a huge amount of work to implement this into your game. You simply need to recognize what's happening and adjust your focus accordingly. If you're still having trouble working and controlling the speed, even using this strategy, it could be a couple of things going on. Of course, technical changes could be necessary. If you take a little look back at a couple of videos that I've done, which are just on the screen now, you're going to see that there's different ways that you can learn to control putter speed and control the distance that you hit the ball. Guys, as always, very appreciative of you taking the time to watch, and those of you that comment, thank you very much. Welcome to all the new subscribers that have joined in the last few weeks. It's great to have you along. Any comments you have about this video, please post them in the box down below. And until next time, guys, take care, enjoy yourself, and I'll see you soon.